Welcome to Gene and Mike do the New York Times crossword.
Hi, I'm Jean.
And I'm Mike. And today we are doing the crossword for Friday, September 27th, 2024. So, on the last Friday of September...
Hard to believe.
But true?
Yep.
Did you do the crossword?
I did do the crossword.
And was it hard to believe that you did the crossword?
It was hard to believe I did the crossword.
So you found the crossword hard?
Well, it was a challenge for sure, but then I put in the last letter and bingo, I was done. I was just like, man, that doesn't happen too often on a Friday. I mean, usually I'm like struggling and I'm like using all kinds of different letters. But this one, I just put in the last letter and there it was.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you. I've been sort of on a streak this week that way. So, which I hope continues through tomorrow.
Right.
But yeah, what did you think of it?
I've been on the opposite sort of streak where it's taking me like a long time to figure out mistakes and so forth. I think this one, let's see, was this one really as bad? I think I had some problem somewhere. I guess it was just basically the top left corner was sort of a major struggle for me.
That was hard for me too, yeah.
I mean, from like one down, the, specification for a cut was bone in.
Right.
That never would have occurred to me when I was thinking like haircut.
It's cut of meat.
Right.
Well, one across. I looked it over after I finished, and I'm like, I know every last word in this crossword, every last phrase. There's nothing new, but one across. I had never heard that phrase. Tough loss for a poker player. Bad beat.
And I'm trying to figure out if that's just grammatically incorrect. They're trying to say we were badly beaten, or...
They just call it a bad beat.
Sounds vaguely musical.
I suppose. But everything else was pretty common.
I suppose.
The clues were certainly not common.
Right.
But the answers were.
Yeah, like 13 across, root words, go team go.
Yes. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
And even the one underneath that, 15 across, purely hypothetical, perhaps, untested.
Yes.
Actually, that was 16 across. I think the only thing that saved me in that corner was 18 across, it'll rock your world, size 'em.
Yes. Yes, that was funny.
But, and I got that because of 3 down, middle's middle. And that was D's.
D's.
D-E-E-S.
I put in D's and I thought, no, I don't think that's right. So I took it out, but then I put it back in.
I put it in, and that was for a long time, the only letter I had in one across.
Oh.
Although I felt confident for a time about 5 down, one administering compressions for short, EMT.
Right.
I thought that's got to be right, but...
Yeah.
And then, but I'll tell you, the one in the end, 7 down, the end of that corner, memo pad header, and I thought, it's as to, because I think that's something you sometimes say in a memo.
Yes.
Maybe, or in re, as to. Then I decided maybe it was date, but it turned out to be to do.
To do, yes.
Because when they say memo pad header, they really mean at the very top.
Oh, that's right.
So, although anyway, that took me a while to get, and that was sort of critical to getting that corner.
Right.
Let's see. 6 down was lovers divide, maybe. And I was thinking it was like bed gap. If you had like 2 mattresses, there'd be a gap between them.
Oh.
But it was age gap.
Age gap. That's correct.
I guess I've never heard of a bed gap before. I tried
I can't say
shoehorn one in there.
Right. Right. So I like 27 across. Going through the motions on autopilot.
Yes.
Going through the motions.
That took me a bit.
Yeah, me too. I think that top left corner was the hardest part of the puzzle for me.
Well, again, as we theorized yesterday, it's that they start off tough and then they sort of ease off towards the bottom.
Yep. This one and the one yesterday finished the bottom half long before I finished the top. So
we had right in the middle, 37 across, Chipotle competitor. And I thought, Chipotle doesn't have any competitors. They're in a class of their own. And then I decided maybe it was Taco Bell.
Oh.
But I only had 5 letters.
Yep.
And it was QDOBA.
QDOBA.
I don't know where that came from, but somehow I was able to. I think I had one letter there. I think I had the O of 29 down. Nope, not me. And that was I won't.
Right.
And so I had and I think I had the B too, 20 down. Extemporize. And that was ad lib.
That's right.
So between the O and the B, I had 2 of the 5 letters.
Yes, that should have given it to you. 20. The first letter in that, the Q of QDOBA, crossed with 24 down. Debugging software, where spelled WEAR, and that was mosquito net.
Yes.
That was a pretty cryptic clue and a pretty amazing answer.
That was a
Debugging software.
A real stretch. I liked 45 across. Opportunities to soak up adulation. Victory laps.
Yes, I like that one too. Mm-hmm.
That's sort of cheery. Mm-hmm. And 41 down, fertility doctors focus, OVA. So they gave you that V pretty much, because that was a fairly... we've seen OVA so many times in the crossword.
Oh, yes. I love 64 across. Common business in Wisconsin.
Right.
And of course, the first thing I thought was brewery.
That's exactly, I thought there can be no other answer.
Then I thought cheese house.
Oh.
But it turned out to be creamery.
I didn't get off of brewery. I'm just like, it has to be brewery, even though it doesn't fit. But I decided you could spell brewery with 2 W's if you worked at it.
No, you can't.
The second W standing for Wisconsin. But yes, creamery, which I don't actually know what that is. A business that sells cream?
No, I think it's like a milk processing plant. They make milk into cream, whipping cream, various kinds of milk.
What about cheese? Milk. Does cheese enter into this?
No, I think cheese has their own factories.
Oh, okay.
This is just a milk processing plant.
I see. Let's see. We had like some tuition was in state. That was pretty straightforward.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And 39 across, that was a stumper for me. But lines of text that are less useful on paper. URLs.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
I still don't even really... Lines of text. I mean, a URL is like one line.
Right, but...
So it's plural, so...
But, it's kind of funny. Like where I work sometimes, I'm trying to convey some information to people, and I'll say... And you can go to the URL. And of course, I'm printing this on paper. So they're going to have to type it in, but that's the only way I can convey the message to them. So, it's just like, it's pretty useless on paper, but
right.
But yeah, so I think that was the point they were trying to make. And every time I do this, I'm like, this is so dumb. Nobody is going to type this in, but it's like, that's the message I'm supposed to relay, so there you go. There's the URL.
Let's see. We had 53 across. SoCal Sluggers on scoreboards. LAA.
Right.
Los Angeles Angels. Okay. And that's baseball.
Yep.
I mean, they're sluggers, so you sort of hope they're not basketball. Yeah. He just knocked them.
They could be boxers.
Knocked them right out. That's got to be illegal. There are no trudgeons in basketball. 34 down was nuts. And I was thinking it was going to be like peanuts, which did fit, but it was maniacs.
Maniacs, yes.
Totally different kind of nuts. And what you put for 47 down, that being... hang on, I got to find 40... No, let's see.
Yeah.
Let me try the...
Source of a draft, 47 down.
Right.
Uh-huh. Well, I got keg.
Oh, okay.
And I got the E, so I thought, well, is it like an ice keg? Or, I couldn't think of any adjective for keg. I just think of keg, but it was an ale keg.
Mm-hmm. And the one next to it, 48 down, tools used on potatoes. Did you go for peelers?
I tried, yeah, but it didn't work.
It did
fit. So, but it was parers.
Oh, you're right.
Which are peelers, paring.
For some reason, I thought peeler was going to work.
No.
Maybe I went for singular.
Yeah, no, it didn't work.
Let's see, 68 across. Good standing in the Navy, sea legs.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah.
66 across.
It was a fun clue, but it wasn't nearly as cryptic as some of the others.
As mosquito net.
Right. And then...
Oh, and then I also liked 8 down. Real money bags. Zillionaire.
Yes. That sounds very real.
I found this amusing, an amusing puzzle.
Yeah, I think so too. It was the second by Jake Bunch.
Nice job, Jake.
Yes, indeed. He's done 2. The first was at the end of March, and they've both been on Fridays.
Very good.
So he likes tough, themeless crosswords.
Yep.
All right. Well, it is Friday. I think that's it for the crossword, but it's Friday, so it's time for Fun Fact Friday. And I am sincerely hoping that you have a fun fact for Fun Fact Friday.
I do have a little fun fact here.
Okay. A factoid?
Well, it's a little more than that.
Okay.
So yesterday there was a clue that said a prominent feature of Hello Kitty, and that was a hair bow. So I thought I would just do a little research on Hello Kitty.
Oh, okay.
You know Hello Kitty? No.
Vaguely. Apparently she has a hair bow.
Yes, she does. Here's a picture of her.
Yep.
Oh, maybe you'll want to include that in the show notes.
We'll have to check with our lawyers.
There's her hair bow.
Okay.
But anyway, she is Japanese, also known by her real name, Kitty White. And she is a fictional character created by Yuko Shumizo, and currently designed by Yuko Yamaguchi and owned by the Japanese company Sanrio. Now, even though she is a Japanese invention, Sanrio depicts Hello Kitty as a British anthropomorphized white cat with a red bow and no visible mouth.
How do they know she's British?
Well, that's just what they say. According to her backstory, she lives in a London suburb with her family and is close to her twin sister, Mimi, who is depicted with a yellow bow. She was created in 1974. On a little vinyl coin purse. That's all they made were little vinyl coin purses with Hello Kitty.
So 50 years old. She doesn't look it.
And she was marketed toward pre-teenage girls. But then she, like through the 70s and 80s, her brand just exploded, and they made all kinds of things related to pre-teenage girls with Hello Kitty on them. They have also now several Hello Kitty theme parks called Harmony Land.
Let's go.
Sanrio Puro Land in Tokyo. Harmony Land's in Heiji, Ota, Japan. And there's one also in Shanghai, China, the Hello Kitty Shanghai Times. She has an animated series targeted toward children, as well as comic books, animated films, video games, books, music, albums, and other media productions. Going on, I could tell you many things about Hello Kitty and her backstory, but I think what's much more interesting is some of the products that have derived from Hello Kitty. I already told you about the preteen explosion of everything a preteen girl would like with Hello Kitty on it. But the Hello Kitty Airbus was flown by EVA Air for several years, and there was a Louis Vuitton Hello Kitty Mini Cooper car that was designed.
I'm sorry, did you say that Louis Vuitton designed a car? I thought he did purses.
Louis Vuitton, well, yeah, I mean, he's a designer,
right?
Designer, house of design, but they also designed a Mini Cooper car in the mode of Hello Kitty. And
so they basically took a Mini Cooper and put Hello Kitty on the door?
They painted it pink and white, and it had Hello Kitty icons all over it. The Hello Kitty Stratocaster electric guitar was developed, I think it was in the 1990s, but since 2005 with Fender, it is under Squire sub-brand in the U.S., originally sold for around $200 some, now selling well over $1,000.
Wow.
In 2009, Hello Kitty entered the wine market with a collection of 4 wines available for purchase online. And then
you can buy wine online? Okay.
Yes. And then Hello Kitty cafes have opened around the world. There is a themed restaurant named Hello Kitty Sweets in Taipei, Taiwan. Another one called Hello Kitty Diner in Sydney, Australia. A Hello Kitty maternity hospital was opened in 2008 in Yulin, Taiwan. It features Hello Kitty on receiving blankets, room decor, bed linens, birth certificate covers, and even the nurse's uniform. And don't get me started on Hello Kitty clothing, which has been made by Doc Martens, Forever 21, Converse, Skechers, and there was another shoe, Puma, have all made Hello Kitty articles of clothing. And then in the art scene, there have been numerous pieces of contemporary art that have used Hello Kitty as the inspiration. Also, Canadian singer-songwriter Avril Lavigne wrote and recorded a song called Hello Kitty for her 5th album. And finally, they even had a Saturday Night Live sketch that parodied Hello Kitty's backstory. So, Hello Kitty, she's everywhere. But
I had no idea.
I know, neither did I.
I mean, I guess in the circles that I tend to inhabit, there just aren't too many
just
Hello Kitty.
wait till Apple comes out with the new Hello Kitty iPhone.
I am not holding my breath.
So anyway, a few fun facts about Hello Kitty.
Well, thank you so much for those fun facts.
You're welcome.
And that is it for today from Hello Kitty Central. So thanks everyone for listening. We will be back again to take a peek at Saturday's crossword tomorrow.
Bye-bye.